All right, welcome everybody to the City Council meeting, our regular meeting on Thursday, November 11, 2021 at 7 p.m. at the Alexander Convention Center Conference Room 290 on IH-35 Axis Road, Cotulla, Texas. This is an open meeting subject to open meeting laws of the state of Texas. Before I get started, I want to say we lost an employee, a friend, a husband, a father, a grandfather, Mr. Roy Saldivar, and I would like to take a moment of silence to pray for him and his family. So let's take a moment of silence, please. All right. Amen. Roll call. It looks like everybody is present here today. Councilman, thank you all for showing up and for being here for the people. Will everybody please join me on the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Citizens to be heard. The City Council cannot discuss any present issue, nor may any action be taken at any given issue at this time. Ms. Secretary, I believe only one citizen signed up, and that's Ms. Hortensia Gloria. Did I say it right? Would you like to please come in up to the podium, please? Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us tonight.
Okay. Put my glasses on. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. My name is Hortensia Gloria. I reside on 1105 FM 468. Thank you for allowing me to speak in front of your meeting. The reason I am here is for the safety of the guest department. I would like to ask Mr. Wright if he would answer this question for me. What are the safety measures that he takes at the gas department, or what kind of gear do they use when they have a leak, or how do they detect a leak and how do they discover it? That is all I have for him, but I also have some for Mr. Reyna. The last meeting he said we only had 2 leaks, but that's not so. I know that we have more than that in Cotulla. But I want to know, all that gas that goes up into the air, who pays for that gas, or do we, the community, pay for it? Or do you just cover it up and let it roll? I mean, that's money that's being wasted. And those are my questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay. Thank you.
There's also one more letter, but it is not signed. It doesn't say who it's from, so I will not read it. So moving on to item number 5, departmental and committee reports. David, would you like to give us an update?
Yeah, so I'm going to give a report for water and wastewater. City observed Veterans Day, and the staff was off, and Mr. Orton Day, that works in the wastewater, lives in Hondo. So it was a long ride for him to come over here for the meeting, so I'm going to go ahead and give the report. Starting with the water department, the new water tower that is being installed at the Public Works Yard. This week, the contractor came in, he brought a crane in, he brought in a welding rig. He was down today to take a look at the area to start staging for steel, which is going to arrive tomorrow. So they're going to start bringing in steel tomorrow. Next week, they're going to start erecting the tower. So we're actually getting some movement on site, and once they start, they're going to do it till it's complete. And of course, painting and the school logo and everything will be completed at that time. The city does have an inspector that's coming out and inspecting the tank. He'll be here on a daily basis, checking, making sure welds are correct and different aspects of the tower as they erect it. I'm going to move on to the Pool Street project. Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. I have a question on the water tower.
Sure.
Is there an inspector at all times while it's being processed?
There's going to be one. The city actually has an independent inspector that's coming down to inspect it.
Okay.
So yes, there will be an inspector.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank
Yes.
you.
Pool Street project, the street project that's there. Water line, main 8-inch line has been installed. The complete length of the street. The contractor is going to take tomorrow and next week to come back and put in the taps and the lateral lines to the houses. He's also going to do the actual connections to the line, and he's got 2 more fire hydrants to install also on that line there. After next week, what he's gonna do is he's gonna start on the actual street itself. I see that he's been doing driveways. I see him going up doing driveways. I think he's done like 5 of them already. So, but he assured me that by the end of this week, he was gonna start on the actual street project and was gonna be completed with the water line.
I have another question on Pool Street.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been any change orders so far on new water line services to properties in that area that we have to pay out of pocket, or do the customers pay?
Well, the customers don't pay for it. There has been, I think there's a change order request that's coming that's a very low dollar amount for 3 connections. And one is for the city yard. The city yard that's there at Pool and
Baker.
At Pool and Baker Street. There's a property adjacent to that on the other side of Baker and Pool, and I believe there's a tap that is going to be a change order for that property. And there was a third for an empty lot near your house across the street.
Or across the street?
Yes, and that it'll probably come to council. We talked about it about 2 weeks ago, and there will be a change order submitted. It's going to be a very low dollar amount, though. It's not going to be very expensive.
So the customer doesn't pay
No. The customer's not going to pay for it.
So is anybody that lives in that area, it requests to have a connection, can that be added on?
It could be, and the intent is to actually have every property there
Before
with a
the
new
street,
tap.
before the street gets up?
Yes, before the street gets completed, because we just don't want to go
Correct.
back and do
But
double
there's
work.
only one tap per lot, it's not multiple taps.
Right.
Correct.
One per lot.
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move on to the street project. There's a project between the county and the city to redo multiple streets within the city of Katula. And I can name them all to you, or I'm going to go one by one here because what I'm going to explain is that on some of these streets, like Stadium and Baker.
David, did we get the engineer already started engineering these streets?
Yes, sir. He's working on it. I called him 2 days ago and I requested a set of plans, but he does not have 100% set for me yet. I'm actually working on the initial plans that the council got with the county when you all were out here. So what the water department is actually going to do, and we're starting at Stadium and Baker, then we're going to move over to Matamoros, Sotil, and Hidalgo, is where all the line extensions for water, we're going to actually do it because it's not extensive like we thought it was going to be. Once I got into the map and I started looking at the lines, there are a few that, there are some line replacements, but my biggest concern, or the city's biggest concern, is the actual taps and the saddles that wrap around the main line. There's a metal saddle and it's got a tap coming out of it. Well, several years back we had some line replacements. The saddles on those lines, and I probably should have brought one because I have one to show you, but the metal straps on these saddles were just made out of steel. Okay, I don't think they took into consideration the acidity of the dirt here. And what has ended up happening is over 2-3 years, these saddles have completely rusted out and they've busted. And when they bust, the tap blows off and everything just goes downhill. So what we're doing is we're coming back with stainless steel saddles. And that's what they did on Stadium this week. They replaced the taps, verify that we had copper from the house to the main. So if we don't have copper, we're gonna replace it and put copper and then the saddle.
Am I correct? The Stadium Drive is the one where Mingo Martinez lives?
Yeah, I don't know him
Close to-
exactly,
close to
but
the
I know
creek.
mostly Martinez live on that street.
Correct. Close to
Yeah.
the creek, am I correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the one that goes to the creek.
Okay.
So, and then Baker, from Baker, Beckles to Elm, they're also gonna repave that street. So we're gonna come back and replace saddles on that one. Saltillo Street, we're also gonna do it there. Hidalgo, the water lines in the alley. And then the final street, Matamoros, it's the same thing. They're mainly in the alley. I think there's like one or two there's not many on Hidalgo.
On Saltillo and Matamoros, when is that project estimated?
Okay. Talking to the engineer, he told me that the initial bid for Stadium, Baker, and Saltillo, that colonia there, was going to be in December, and construction was going to begin in January. So what they're going to do after that, after the bid in December, 30 days after that, they're going to go ahead and bid the next section, which would be Southwest Lane, Hickey Street, through that area. After they bid that, then they're going to go to Dilly Lane and the Front Street and the Coronado, that little colonia right there. So they're going to do it in phases, but they're not going to stop. Like, they're going to continue. So, and at first I was like, well, hey, we got a little time. We know we can do this. But then I heard he's going to bid 30 days back to back. I was like, man, we got to move with it. So that's why the guys have started so quickly.
Yes, sir.
So, but that's an excellent project. I mean, we're going to get a lot of roads and good roads, So let's get it done right. The generators for the water wells. I don't have much to say on that one because we have an agenda item for a task order, and I believe Ms. Byrne is going to speak on the task order. But I just want to say that it's moving, and we're trying to progress and get them as quickly as possible.
Okay, I have a couple of questions on
Sure.
when it comes along on that, but not right now. Until who's going to be speaking on that?
Ms. Byrne, Stacy.
I'll have the questions on that.
Okay, so that's what I have for the water report. The wastewater report, I have a few items on that one. Wastewater line, the water line to the airport, from the airport that's going to go to Guadalupe Street or just behind the prison. We're going to actually have we're going to have a bid. The engineer's changing a few pages of design because we originally had the easement going through the prison, and it got moved over to the property next to it. And the engineer's telling us we'll have a bid in January for that line, and we're hoping to get it sooner. But that's what he's telling us right now.
What size of line is that one?
That line there was going to be a 8-inch.
8-inch?
Okay, we have we've been working on with Ms. Barna and CDM Smith. We've been working on a wastewater plant project. At this point, since the last meeting, the only thing that I can report is that we're waiting for the geotech to be completed, and they should be here within the next 2 weeks to complete the geotech. Once that's completed, we're going to have we'll have our 90% and then very quickly have 100% plans for that one. And the project will be designed, which was the mechanical bar screen, the clarifier, and the drying beds. So we have we'll have that completed and designed, and then we have anticipating Water Development Board funds that we have already acquired that we're going to use for that project or a portion of that project. So. Okay, and I think that's all I have for wastewater.
Right offhand, you don't happen to need any items for safety-wise equipment or to do your job better?
Okay.
Offhand?
There's always a need, and there's for sure always a need for safety equipment. A lot of the things speaking for water and wastewater, a lot of things that are done that are a little dangerous, we tend to have another person or contractor that has the proper equipment and PPE to come in and do it.
Correct.
So that we don't actually put our employees in danger.
That is correct.
At those points, and we see it and we realize it, that's what we end up doing. We'll go back to Mr. Dovalina and we'll say, sir, this is a little too much for our staff to handle.
Yeah, because I know that the sewer plant deals with a lot of fumes and all that.
Okay.
And it's kind of dangerous. So just wondering if you all happen to have it.
Yeah, I have.
available?
Yes, we actually have CBAs on site, including all of the water wells. We have CBAs on site. So, but yeah, that is also, we actually have the PP4E for that, and the biggest concern with that type of stuff is the chlorine gas.
Correct.
It is actually very dangerous, and we have what we need to take care of that. We only have certain people that are trained in it actually do the job to change a bottle or deal with chlorine.
Okay, that's good.
So. Any questions from the council?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David, for that report. Next report.
Sir, before you start, can you say remove your cap in front of the council, please? Go ahead, sir.
For the gas department has 493 active meters as of today. Gas department has completed 64 811 locates in and around the city. Gas department has repaired the leak at the district regulator station, which is the plant that we have here at behind the RV park. And at the end of October, the gas department had 4 audits with the Railroad Commission, and we have completed that audit and did not receive any violations for that audit.
Can I ask you a question on that? Can we, the city councilmen and the mayor, receive a copy of Railroad Commission comments and concerns on that? Can we get a copy of that?
Yeah, you should have had one. That's
Okay, I'll look at it.
the letter that we received from the Railroad Department.
It's in your.
It's in the packet.
Is it a fact?
Yeah.
And another question on the gas location that you mentioned at the RV park at Miaves.
Yes.
Is there an entrance already going in? I know that, but has the gate, a door gate, been installed already?
There's a gate there already.
To not jump in the fence or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a gate already there, and
Oh,
it's
that's
locked.
already- okay.
Yes.
And has the gas leak been repaired? And southwest lane?
It has been repaired,
Temporarily or?
not completely, but we're looking into that is one of the roads being done by the county. So we're looking into contractors coming in and giving us a bid on that gas line to repair the
As a package?
to repair, not as a package. It's totally different. It's something different. And we're looking into replacing it not with steel with the poly line.
So how many leaks do we have so far in Katula that you know of?
We have that one going on. We have we recently found one on Stadium Drive that we're still looking into, and I believe that's it for right now.
And the same question goes to you, what I mentioned to David Wright. Does your department have the proper gear, gloves, when your employees are working with the gas, because gas does burn the skin? So just wondering, do you happen to have that, or?
Yeah, so if we don't have it, then the guys are more than welcome to ask for it and go get it out at Ace, Bell, any stores that
But
can provide
apparently
it.
we don't have no department here in Cotulla that furnishes for gas that I know of.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I don't think nobody has gloves for gas. Am I correct? And not Ace.
You can just use leather.
You can use leather gloves. I mean, there's
For gas?
Yeah.
Leather
Yeah.
gloves?
There's not
They've
there's
been
not
get-
a special type of glove made to handle natural gas.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay, because
a glove.
okay, but if you don't mind, if you can purchase the right equipment for your employees, if you
Okay,
don't mind,
yeah.
go ahead and get that. So no injuries or for your fellow employees. That's why I say it. And basically, that's it for you.
any other questions?
No, sir.
Gerardo, thank you very much for that
Thank you,
report.
Gerardo.
Next one, Robbie.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, Mr. Dovalina. In your packet, you have my Public Works monthly report, but I'll just highlight some deals here. City of Cotulla personnel demolished an abandoned structure at 806 Velasquez Street. We also assisted the Cotulla Main Street with the annual Halloween trick or treat by placing barricades at city intersections. I also summoned AEP for streetlight maintenance repairs, which in different locations, the streetlights were out, and for the safety of the citizens, I went ahead and summoned AEP, and Mike Lambert took care of those. And there were different locations. What else? We're utilizing the tractor with mower to cut the airport with Mr. Page over there. Also, our crew removed some weeds and grass from the flower beds at the Wellhausen for a book signing ceremony that was taking place this past weekend. Any questions?
I have one question, the same one that I mentioned to the other gentleman.
Go ahead.
Does your department have the proper gear for the employees?
Yes, sir. We just hired one, and we made him. We went and bought everything for him: goggles, gloves, everything for the weed eater.
Okay.
But yes, we have everything.
How is your equipment doing so far of breaking down, especially the ones for the trucks for the landfill?
Mel will bring that up to you.
Okay, so appreciate
but
that.
my trucks, they're good. Or my machinery is working great.
Okay,
No problems.
thank you.
No problems.
Any other questions for Robbie? Robbie, thank you very much for that report. Mr. Martinez, you want to do sanitation, please? And thank you for being here, for being in with us tonight, Mr. Martinez.
Council Member, Mayor, Mr. Dovalina, Ms. Bianca, you have the package. Thank you. As far as the solid waste transfer station report, you have a packet, you have it in your package. There's a couple of things I want to point out. The trash pickup, commercial and residential, has picked up tremendously in the last couple of months. As a matter of fact, just a couple of days ago, we filled up 2 containers. That was a lot of trash. Once in a while we'll have that, but we've mainly been seeing that method a little bit more and more and more. And with the holidays coming, it's going to get, more heavier. Just briefly, we picked up 283.20 tons of trash this past month, with the equivalence of 566,400 pounds of trash that came out from commercial and residential. We were having some minor issues with the brand new roll-off. It was a sensor, and it took a while for Rush to get it, but they finally got it, and the new truck is back in service. Right now, with everything that's going on with the import and export, they were having trouble getting that simple sensor get here, but they got it. We have the trash truck. The brand new trash truck is in Reliance in San Antonio. I took it last week. We got the mechanism already on there. They're fixing it so they can pick up trash for the containers also, instead of just using it for residential. That's the one that usually is picking up. Mr. Garza's picking up around town. Now we're going to utilize that one, being that it's more newer, to pick up containers also if needed. Any other questions, or any questions that y'all might have as far as the solid waste and the transfer station?
Just the same question I asked the other gentleman. Does your department have the proper?
Yes, sir, that is
And,
correct. Upon hiring, we just hired 2 new employees. I buy them goggles, safety vests, raincoats, rain boots. All that is purchased to them, and they have access to that when the time needs that. It rains, you can put the rain boots or the raincoats and so forth.
Thank you.
Councilman, any other questions for Mr. Martinez?
No, sir.
Ms. Bianca.
Mr. Martinez, thank you very much for that report.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mr. Levine.
Thank you, sir.
Do we have anybody doing animal control? David, good evening. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Good evening, council members, Mr. Julia, Mayor. For this month, I picked up 17 dogs at the shelter. I had got 15 of them adopted with the South Texas Brush Puppy Organization. 13, dead animals off the streets. Four dogs euthanized, and from the animal traps, I've collected 16 over the month of October. And other than that, just maintenance around the shelter, which is cutting grass, weed eating, cleaning the dogs, sanitizing, and removing the manhole water when it's full. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one or two. Do you have a program right now for putting it on the website that can be shown so the city can adopt animals?
No, not yet, sir.
Can that be okay? Because in order to better and less euthanize the animals, is that on the website?
Mm-hmm.
And also, does your department have the proper gear and all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
David, thank you very much for that report.
We don't have a code enforcement. The code enforcement officer has resigned, and we're in the process of recruiting new personnel.
Can I ask a question on that one, sir?
Yes.
Meanwhile, who will be doing the code enforcement?
We'll assign it to one of the members of the crew. I interviewed 2 people yesterday. We're primarily looking for somebody that has a T-close license, so that it'll be somebody that has police experience, and that way we don't have to rely on the sheriff's department to go out with the individual when they have to address an issue of ordinances.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to have somebody to keep on as a code enforcer temporary.
Yeah.
The reason is because I know we have a list that I believe was left by Melissa.
We're still working on that list, and in fact, we demolished a house last week. When was it?
Yes, sir.
Where,
Yes, we did.
where was the house?
That was the one at, actually 806 Velasquez, that's what it was. That's what it was.
And the one that you asked me about the last time on Mendez Street,
Yes, sir.
she noticed the wrong people
Correct.
and the wrong address, and so I asked her to redo it all over again. And then you have to give them the 30-day notice before you can.
Apparently, the individual that lives next door already mentioned to me that family members already started to clean the yard, so I guess they're already doing the attempt on cleaning. So that may be out of the window already, but they already started to clean the yard already on Mendez Street.
But that was a problem before.
Okay, but the other one I know is not on the list, but was mentioned to Mr. Peña and you and the mayor. The one on 4-way stop sign here that belonged to a Dove.
To who?
Dove. The old
The
Dove.
one with the charger in the front.
I told, I think there's a lady that owns it now.
I know that she used to live in Laredo, but I don't know if a letter had been sent out or not.
Is some lady out of Louisiana?
Okay, can they do something, because it's been a nuisance just looking
Yeah,
at it.
we're gonna, I think she posted, and if they don't clean it, we're gonna force clean it
Okay,
and put a lien on it.
okay, I appreciate that, thank you. I have
Moving
a
on.
question. I have another question on the number 8 on the municipal court. No citations have been given or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay.
Miss Karina, moving on to Main Street.
I've been made aware that y'all don't have my report in y'all's hands, so I'll go ahead and give y'all a quick overview. The Halloween trunk or treat was held on October 31st at Veterans Park, and that was a great success. 30 trunks registered and a total of 24 trunks showed up. The community Community gave very great feedback and is looking forward to the next event, which is for Christmas in December. We had the Glove for a Lady book launch, which took place last Saturday, which was also a great success. 80 books have been purchased to donate to the third graders at Almedasburg's Elementary, as well as 50 to be used for future events, as well as the City Council will also be getting their books at the next meeting, which will be signed by Ms. Jeronima Garza. The Christmas Parade and Christmas in the Park is going to be held on December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Again, it is very much important that all are involved at every event hosted to encourage community within Cotulla. We also have the Jet Center ribbon cutting will be held on December 9th at 10 a.m. And then the phase 2 of the Stockman's Bank has started. If you pass by, there is a full crew working in there. And the date still stands to complete the building, which is April 4th, 2022. Is there any questions or comments?
The Jet Center is the airport terminal is what it is. Jet Center is the guy that runs the operation. But it's December the 9th, and Senator Judy Saffarini has agreed to be the main speaker.
Yes. And we should also...
We'll get an invitation
Yes.
for that day? Okay, appreciate that.
And it's a county city
Join.
operation.
Correct,
So both entities will be involved.
correct.
It'll be a great event. A great event, a beautiful.
At the Jet Center ribbon cutting, we will also have a representative from Congressman Tony Gonzalez, which is in the back.
Show up, please, if uninvited.
Any questions or comments for me?
No.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Karina, thank you very much for that report, and thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you. Also, one more thing. We did have our Veterans Dinner celebration tonight, which was downstairs, and the City Council did attend. We did have 24 veterans attend, and they were also very, very grateful that the city provided a meal for them, and they were all able to come and feel comfortable and mingle with other veterans. So thank y'all for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman, if there's no further questions on departmental and committee reports, this is the time to ask the question. Councilman, go ahead.
On item number I, City Administration. Is
City
that
Administrator.
for Bianca, right?
No.
No. City
Okay,
Administrator.
I have a question for you, sir. I don't know if the majority of the councilmen have already been bonded or not, but I have not been bonded and would like to be bonded. And also, I would like to see, I know that some of y'all already, like the mayor, Juan Garcia, signed some checks. I would like to see the checks, like in a report, what are signed.
You never got bonded?
I have not, and I have never been received a bond.
Okay, then I'll call H&R Block tomorrow, they're the ones that take care. Because they called me a while back, but they told me that only Manuel was the one that wasn't.
Have you been
Yeah.
bonded?
I don't think so.
You never did it when y'all first came in?
Never been.
What is the procedure? So
Did you go to H&R Block with,
oh no, I didn't.
I just got bonded last Friday.
yeah, I'll call her and let her know, and then I'll call y'all and let y'all know when y'all can go by. Usually once I call her, then y'all can just show up whenever.
Okay,
But she did call me, and she did tell me that, she only told me that he wasn't bonded, so.
Yes.
and on the reports on the checks that can we get a copy on the
We
every
can,
time
we
get
can
an-
provide you a monthly copy of all the bills that are paid.
Yes, sir. Yeah, appreciate that.
Any further questions or discussion?
No, sir.
Councilman? Moving on to item number 6, approval of minutes, November 11, 2021.
I think you're wrong, I just noticed. It should be
October 11?
It's a wrong date.
yeah, it should be October 14, not November.
Well, approval of minutes, October 14, 2021. City Secretary, was there any changes made to the minutes? Councilman, do you still need a moment of,
Only item number 10 is not gonna be from the last meeting, am I correct? That was tabled, right?
Yes.
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 Okay.
If there was no changes in the meeting, the minutes, and Councilman, you had a chance to review them. I need a first motion to approve item number 6.
So move.
First motion by Mr. Garcia, I need a second. Second by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 7, discussion and possible action on a resolution of the City of Cotulla adopting the allocation method of opiate. Never seen that word in my life. Sorry, you guys. Opiate settlement proceeds as set forth in the State of Texas Political Subdivision Opiate Abatement Fund Council and settlement allocating term sheets.
This is a resolution that was submitted by the city attorney. The different states did a settlement with the pharmaceutical companies involved in the opiate settlement. The settlement is allocated according to population. We're entitled to, I believe it's $1,200, but we have to pass a resolution in order to be able to send it in and to get the money.
I was looking over the papers and I saw that the LaSalle County is entitled to $14,975.
Yeah, because they're the bigger population, and it's according to population.
Yeah, so is it combined the city and the county together?
No,
Or just the city?
the city gets a certain portion, the county gets a certain portion.
Okay.
They're all different.
Councilman, if there's no further discussion on item number 7, I seek a first motion to approve item number 7. First motion by Mr. Sertucci, I need a second.
motion.
Second by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 8, presentation of financial statements by Jorge Flores. Mr. Flores, welcome, and thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members. The first report is the sales tax report. For the month of November, the city received $162,426, which is $65,316 more than last year, an increase of 67%. So for the first 2 months of the year, the city has received $284,208, a 42% increase over the prior year. Next page is the hotel motel tax collection report. For the city of October, for the month of October, the city received $105,084. They're taking a little longer than last quarter, some of the hotels to pay up. I actually saw November the 3rd, that is not reflected on this report. We had a deposit of $62,405. So November will, what we didn't collect in October, we should collect in November, and that will be reflected in next month's report.
Any specific date on November?
November 3rd.
November 3rd?
No,
Thank you.
the report is actually due October 30th, and they're late. That's why they're reporting in November.
Okay.
Next page is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the month of October. The month of October is the first month of the city's fiscal year. So on page number 1, total general fund revenues, $514,691. If you look 3 lines above that total, you'll see loan proceeds, government capital. We actually received the loan proceeds to buy the equipment. There's some vehicles, some heavy equipment that's going to be purchased with these loan proceeds.
Was already purchased.
They already purchased, those vehicles are purchased?
Yeah, it goes back into our funds.
Is there any other equipment that is in
Yeah, there's it's a vehicle that's pending, right?
The animal control?
Yeah.
Do you estimate a date or a month?
I think it's like 6 months because the last time we didn't get delivery for 6 months.
Correct.
And it's got to do with the thing with the boats in China and
Correct.
and the sensors that they talked about earlier. And it could be as much as 6 months.
Do you happen to have like a picture or diagram of the equipment offhand for the next meeting?
Did you get it like the trucks from Laredo or?
I had, it came from Silsbee Ford. It's just north of Houston because that's one of the only dealers in all of Texas that will do buy-board HVAC or the government incentives.
Maybe he has a copy of.
I do. I can
Okay.
actually forward it and email it to whoever wants it.
I wouldn't.
Okay, I can do that.
I appreciate that.
Sir, will you text me your email address so I can
I
send it?
sure will, sir.
Thank you.
On page number 4, total general fund expenditures of $173,705 for a net income of $340,985. Page number 5 is the water sewer fund, total revenues $154,774. On the next page is total expenditures of $53,628 for total income of $101,145. The gas fund on page number 7, total revenues of $25,426, expenses of $20,663 for net income of $4,773. On page number 9 is the solid waste fund. Revenues of $63,571, expenditures of $47,435 for net income of $16,135. Now the only other thing I want to mention is if you look at page number 11, the hotel motel tax fund. I just reported that the city received $105,000. Yet if you look at this report, the total is 0. The amounts that we collected in October pertain to the quarter ended September. So those $105,000 were recorded back to September. Are there any questions?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Any other questions, Councilman, for Mr. Flores on the financial report?
No, sir.
Thank you. If not, Mr. Flores, thank you very much for that report. Moving on to item number 9, discussion and possible action on a renew of airport manager control with E.T. Page III for the Cotulla LaSalle County Airport for the term not to exceed 5 years.
I talked to Mr. Page and he's agreeing this is the same amount of money that we currently pay him, and the contract is set to expire, so we're renewing the contract.
I would like to I would like to just give him 2 years contract instead of 5 years. And also on the contract it states that in case they do remove him from that position, that he's awarded $90,000 to be cut in half. That's my opinion. But I know he's got to be unanimous, but I prefer 2 years because of 5 years, it comes out to $150,000.
Yeah.
But it can be a vote. It's up to you.
Did he agree on that 5-year contract?
Yeah, he agreed to the contract because I told him that we were proposing to renew the contract at the same rates and everything that was done before. But it's your choice.
So if he already agreed to the 5 years, I need a first motion to approve item number 9.
So moved.
First motion by Mr. Garcia. I need a second by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
I got 1 nay. Let the record reflect on that 1 nay by Mr. Zatuche. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 10, discussion and possible action on the appointment of committee members to the Airport Planning Board.
The city got a airport planning grant of, I think it's $170,000. The TxDOT individuals in Austin did a request for qualifications. We made a recommendation as to how we graded and who was the better qualified planner. They sent it to Austin. Austin agreed, and they hired the planner. We met with the planner, and they're now asking for the city to appoint committee members that are involved in aviation to go ahead and have input into the process. And this is so that we can qualify for future projects. What they're gonna do is say, you need to do this or that or whatever in order to raise the airport and get additional projects that are funded in the future.
Now, how long do you think this committee will be needed, sir?
The whole study is about 6 months, and they're probably gonna meet maybe 3-4 times, once at the beginning, just to kind of tell them what's going on, then for them to think about the things that they need at the airport, and then when they come up with a final draft, to present it to the committee, see if everybody's in agreement with what's being proposed, and then they finalize it and submit it to Austin, and then we would get a copy after it is accepted.
Well, I have a list of names for that committee. It's a total of 7 names. The first one is E.T. Page. The second one is Joe Sada. Third one is John Northcutt. The fourth one is Pablo Gonzalez. The fifth one is Joel Rodriguez. The sixth one is David Wright. And number 7 is Larry Dovalina. Councilman, these members are going to be needed for a short time. It's for the airport planning. I seek a first motion to approve this item.
A motion.
First motion made by Mr. Rodriguez.
Second.
Need a second. Second by Mr. Garcia. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 11, discussion and possible action to approve scope of services for the City of Cotulla Department of Public Works and Engineering Well 8 and 9 generator addition project in the amount of $134,923. Ms. Stacy Burton, would you like to elaborate on that? And thank you for being with us tonight.
Sure, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. So, Mayor, Council, and Mr. Dovalina, Stacy Barnard, CDM Smith, happy to be here. So I'm here because we're talking tonight about design for installation of permanent generators for Well 8 and Well 9. As you know, those are the city's 2 newest water wells, and we're looking at installing automatic transfer switches and generators at each well site. Basically, the way that we have laid out the task order here in an event to move very quickly towards having the generators designed is we're proposing 30% design. At that point, we'll do an engineering feasibility report that goes to the Texas Water Development Board, since that's the source of funding for design and potentially the construction work. And then from there, we'll meet with the city, make sure we have any feedback, and then we'll go to 100% design of the project. It's anticipated that the project will take 4 months to design from the time that we receive our notice to proceed, and then 2 months for bidding. So we'll be looking at finishing design probably about mid-March if we start soon. And then we'd be going through the bidding process, so we'd be able to hopefully be under construction by late spring, very early summer.
What is the length of time of completion?
And that installation it would come down to whatever the construction would be there, but I would anticipate that it would take probably 3 to 4 months to actually have the installation. And so by next fall, you would have them.
So this winter we will not have generators.
We have a design at well 8 where well 8 is all set up to put in a rental unit, right?
Yes, sir. So I'm actually going out for quotes right now for a trailer mounted unit, so we will be protected over the winter this winter.
The last time, the reason we ran out of water is because they kept us on hold and didn't tell us that they couldn't connect us. But if we had known that they weren't gonna be able to do it, we could have had the system running and we never would have run out of water.
I would like to make a suggestion to go ahead and rent out generators for the month of December and January.
Okay.
Just to have them there, because I know he had a hard time getting a hold of some generators. Just making sure that they're there, just for safety reasons.
That's fine.
Because I know that the durations you said till probably March or April, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
And can I have an update after it's completed, Mr. David, right?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate
Do
that. I have one question, ma'am. Will these new generators have like sensors that can be sent like to a phone that there's an alarm?
Yes,
that
that's.
could be sent down to David Wright or any water department?
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
we have included basically SCADA control where there would be automatic notification.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
SCADA is the software that we're
Correct.
currently using.
The wet wells at the lift stations all have that type of system where it automatically has a ring to a phone.
Okay, that's good.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Ms. Brenner, thank you very much for that report.
Thank you.
I seek a first motion to approve item number 11.
So moved.
First motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Mr. Juan Garcia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 12, discussion and possible action to approve a contractor's payment request number 4 submitted by Cell Construction Management LLC in the amount of $45,828 for the Pool Street Water Line Project.
Again, you already approved the contract, and this is just to let you know that they're at this stage to go give you the information necessary.
So this is the next payment.
Yes.
I seek a first motion to approve item number 12.
Aye.
First motion by Mr. Sertucci. I need a second.
Aye.
Second by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 13, discussion and possible action on an application and certification for payment number 7 submitted by McGuire Iron in the amount of $91,017.03 for the airport elevated storage tank project.
This is the same information. It's just to give you the information as they go along in the project, and I think the contractors are on site.
Yes.
Ready to begin to do the erection.
Councilman, any questions on item number 13?
No.
If not, I seek a first motion to approve item number 13.
So moved.
First motion by Mr. Juan Garcia. I need a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Garcia, Alejandro Garcia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 14, discussion and possible action to approve pay request number 7 submitted by CDM Smith in the amount of $15,660 for professional service regarding task order number 2, wastewater treatment plant improvement project. This is also a recap on what's going on, just to let us know.
Is this for the improvement of the bins there at the sewer plant? The bins?
Yes, the beds.
Okay.
See wastewater treatment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any questions on item number 14, Councilman?
No, sir.
No.
If not, I seek a first motion to approve item number 14.
Aye.
First motion by Mr. Sertucci. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Garcia. All in favor, Juan Garcia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 15, discussion and possible action to approve a contractor's application for payment submitted by Briscoe Architect Conservation in the amount of $32,964.30 for Stockman's Bank Phase 2.
This is also a contract that has already been approved, and the contractor is in doing the finishing of Phase 2. And this is his current bid.
Can you repeat
Payment, right?
Can you repeat the date that they said the completion of that bank?
I think it's May.
May? Thank you.
The substantial completion date is April 4th.
April 4th?
Substantial. As per our meeting notes from Leslie.
Yeah. But when you do the substantial completion, you do a punch list,
Yeah, walk around.
and then you have to finish a punch list.
Correct.
Any other questions, Councilman, on item number 15?
No, sir.
No.
If not, I seek a first motion to approve item number 15.
So move.
I motion.
First motion by Mr. Juan Garcia, second by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 16, discussion and possible action to approve a proposal submitted by Frank Architects Incorporated in the amount of $15,656 for the Plaza Florita plaque work and Cristo Rey cemetery marker.
This is a proposal to make Cristo Rey Cemetery a Texas historical cemetery, and the part of the project that would be done by the same lady that did the historical nomination for Wellhausen and Plaza Florita. And she would do all of the work. They would go in there and canvass the site. We've already gone through the empty areas and checked for bodies with ground penetrating radar, and we didn't find anything that was disturbed. And so she would do that piece of the work, and then the architect who is with her would do the Plaza Florita plaque with the wording of how the plaque is going to read in order to highlight the designation of the plaza.
The question I have on this one, does Terry works for this organization?
Terry Myers.
Yeah, does she work for that organization, sir?
She works as a subcontractor.
Subcontractor. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions, Councilman?
No.
Is there a time frame that more likely how long they would take? You don't know offhand?
They didn't say, did they? About how long the work? I'll ask. I didn't
Okay.
remember that they said that.
Okay, thank you.
I seek a first motion to approve item number 16.
Aye.
First motion by Mr. Rodriguez. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Juan Garcia. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 17, discussion and possible action on letter submitted by Mr. Manuel Sedan requesting permission to place an RV on 806 Alta Vista Street to live in permanently.
Is there a picture?
Manuel, are you here? If you'd like to say a few words.
Good evening, City Council, members, Mayor, and Manager. My name is Ramon Charo Jr. I'm born and raised in Cotulla, Texas. All my life, 40 years. Tax-paying citizen for 15 of those years. And 10 of those years, small business paying taxes. Mr. Manuel bought this property for myself 3 months ago, and is requesting an RV for his personal use, and I believe he got denied, if I'm not mistaken, and that's what we're here for this evening.
Can I ask you a question, sir? What year model is it? I know that the city has an ordinance, but I would like to see, because I don't see a picture.
No, well, obviously he got denied, so he doesn't.
But I would like to see, because I don't know who denied it, but I would like to get more information about that.
¿Qué tipo de RV estás viendo?
¿Qué año?
Sí,
¿Qué año
¿qué
es,
año?
más o menos?
¿Lo recomiendo en español?
Sí, yo puedo hablar.
Es que me quedé sin nada porque tuve que entregar mi terreno para poder pagar la child support.
Sí.
So, ahorita estoy viviendo en el camión de trabajo.
Sí.
Y en mi camioneta. Y pues yo en cuanto yo puse el poste, dije pongan la luz y yo consigo lo que pueda. O sea, de unas $3,500, $4,000.
Correcto.
Por eso, pero yo no sabía que había este inconveniente. Yo compré el terreno porque se me hizo barato y accesible para mi situación económica. Nunca pensé que iba a hacer eso, pues yo vivo en Laredo, pero a mí se me hacía fácil porque como manejo el camión, pues duro una semana trabajando y me paso los 2 días en pues, donde me quede.
Sí.
Por eso a mí no me interesaba si estaba aquí en Cotulla, en Laredo, en Zapata, donde vivía. Pero pues me encontré con eso y por eso les pido ayuda, ¿no?
See, I really wouldn't see a problem him getting an RV connection and everything like that, you know.
The problem is that we have denied probably 100 people or more. And the minute that you allow this individual to put an RV, you open the door to allowing other people to do it.
So
I mean, it's your choice, but you need to understand that other people have come before this council and you've denied them.
Okay. So it has to be.
This is my first time that I've approved of an RV or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's why I asked this gentleman, por eso le pregunto, de un retrato. If, my opinion, and this is my opinion, if there's a picture for us to see in a year model, then, because I can't say yes or no.
Yeah, my question would be, what is the difference between whether you put I have multiple properties, obviously, of course, I bought all my stuff back in 2011 when there wasn't so many ordinance. So obviously I've been away from the game for a long time, obviously. That's why we're here. But what's the difference whether it's I have a single wide, I have a double wide,
The reason
and an
that
RV, and I understand
this
is not business. It's not going to use it for business. It's personal use. That's what we're here for.
It's a difference between a trailer and an RV.
Correct.
What is the difference, sir?
Huh?
What is the difference?
There is a difference.
Bueno,
he's asking what is
accesible para mí.
Oh, it doesn't have all the amenities that a single or a double wide have.
This is my opinion. I would need more information of the RV. I'm not gonna say yes or no, pero si me da más información.
Oh, we can get you that as soon as he just
back to the table if you want.
Yeah.
But it's gotta be up to the city council to approve it or disapprove it. That's what I can do for you. Because everybody deserves a chance, ¿me entiendes? Pero like I said, I need more information.
The single wides and the double wides after a certain year are approved by the building codes and FHA. And so that's the main difference. So if the trailer is approved by the building standards code, then it's allowed, and that's when they make the exceptions.
Am I correct, Mr. Duvalina, that it does say on the code that a certain year model, is it a 2010?
Yes.
That is for manufactured homes, though. He's asking for an RV.
That's what I'm gonna, for RVs too, am I correct?
No.
For RVs?
No, just for the mobile homes.
Just for mobile homes?
Yes.
Okay. And for RVs, you don't have nothing, no standards or anything?
No,
like
the only time that we made an exception for the RVs was when we initially started the process with the boom, and we didn't have enough houses, so we allowed under certain conditions for a time certain, it was a 5-year period, that we allowed them to come in. But there are areas in town, like the mayor has a place, I want to say there's a place on Dobie, where RVs are allowed and you can bring them in. You just can't put them in on your own property in a residential area. But there are places where you can take an RV and pay the individual whatever it is that they charge and live there.
So our reasoning for getting the ordinance was so we wouldn't have
Everywhere.
RVs all over the town where there should be houses or trailers.
The council recognized that there was an emergency, and they allowed those trailers to come, those RVs to come in at the time. And then when the period was up, they decided that then they weren't gonna allow anymore. And so then, when I talk to the individuals, I always tell them that normally it's not gonna happen, but they have the right to come before council and ask you. And that's why he's here.
En la mentalidad que quiero preguntarle que en su pensamiento es vivir en su RV de aquí para adelante o querer hacer una casa en ese lugar en su futuro.
Sí.
Es lo que quiero
Temporalmente
preguntar.
sí, la RV y luego construir algo ya que tenga más dinero. Esa era la idea.
The intentions are there for the good. That property I've owned for over 6 years, and you know where Alta Vista is. That place was a mess like this, and this gentleman has done an amazing job keeping it real good. And it's just me personally. I think it's a shame that this ordinance is there. Whether you're within the limits or out the limits, to me, it's what is the difference? It's a home for an individual. He's not, to piggyback off what you said earlier, all those RVs, they were all used for business. Everybody benefited, and to this day benefit from the Eagle Ford Shale. Everybody, no doubt about it. He's pleading his case that this is not for business use; it's personal use. So that's what we're here for. That's all we're here for, and we leave it up to the council.
Is this location in front of Marcos?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all we got. You got any more questions for us? We do appreciate your time.
Councilman, any other questions? If not, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
If not, I seek a first motion to approve item number 17.
I need more information on that RV. That's all I said.
Motion. Motion.
Well, let's make sure that you guys know the ordinance, because the ordinance does state that we have not allowed and we have rejected other.
If you want to table so that he can provide you with the information of what the councilman is requesting, you can table it till the next.
I would like to
meeting.
table it because, like I said, it all depends on the year model of the RV, in my opinion, and it's not gonna be like an RV that's fixed up, because you have to make sure that the wiring is all standard and all that. I would like to table it, but it's up to y'all. It's up to the city council, but that's my opinion.
Councilman,
Like I said,
if you
I need
want
more
to table,
information on this.
if you want to table item number 17, I need a first motion to table item number 17.
I motion to table item number 17.
First motion is made by Mr. Reynaldo Garcia. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sertuche. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
Let the record reflect that we have 4 yes and 1 nay by Mr. Juan Garcia. Motion carries. And moving on to item number 18. Discussion and possible action to purchase HEB gift cards in the amount of $40 a piece to provide to each employee for Thanksgiving. This is something we do every year for our employees.
This is the same amount of money that we did last year, and somebody told me today that you couldn't buy a turkey for $40, so I don't know if you want to increase it or not. I mean, it's up to you. This is what we did last year.
Have you checked prices?
No, I didn't.
Usually I buy a 26-pound turkey and I pay like $26, $30-something.
Really?
That's usually what I'm the one that buys it.
I like to go to the store you go to.
HEB. So, Councilman, if you want to increase it, right now is the time. If you say leave $40 as the same as last year.
Let's increase a little bit more.
I mean, speaking in general, everything has gone up in price. And the economic situations that we're in right now, so I wouldn't see anything wrong with maybe giving them
$50?
Yeah.
Councilman, any questions on that, discussion on that? If not, $50 it will be. I need a first motion to approve item number 18, upgrading the amount of money on the gift cards to $50. I seek a first motion. First motion by Mr. Rodriguez. I seek a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Alejandro Garcia. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 19, discussion and possible action to approve $1,000 expenditure for the annual Thanksgiving luncheon for the city employees. Again, this is probably about the same amount we spend every year. Do you think that should be sufficient enough money?
Yeah, we already have.
You already priced everything. Excellent, excellent. I seek a first motion to approve item number 19.
So move.
First motion by Mr. Juan Garcia. I need a second. Second by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 20. Discussion and possible action to approve an expenditure not to exceed $2,000 for purchasing gift for the raffle at our annual Christmas employee luncheon and to cover the cost of food and drinks.
Again, that's the same amount as last year.
That's the same amount as last year. Have you priced any gifts or anything that?
I haven't, but I put it on right now because I want to start early buying stuff, not wait till the last minute when everything goes up. You know, we're like about 48 employees, so I like to buy 10, 15, kind of give them small items, nothing big, buy like a tablet from Amazon, just so we can raffle at our luncheon. Which is employee and council's invited as well.
You feel sufficient enough that 2,000 will cover everything?
Bargain shopper, of course.
Excellent. We like bargain shoppers that they're our own staff. Councilman, I seek a first motion to approve item number 20.
A motion.
First motion by Mr. Rodriguez. I seek a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Alejandro Garcia. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 20, closed session, text government code and section 551.072, deliberations about real estate. Letter A, purchase of real estate. It is now, what time is it, Mr. Technician?
8:18.
It is now 8:18 and we are in closed session. All right, we are back in open session. It is now 8:52. No action was taken in closed session, but we are going to instruct our staff to move forward on the real estate research and bringing in the final numbers on that research. Item number 22, open session. The city council will reconvene into open session to discuss and take action to close session item number 21A. So like I said, no action was needed, but we have instructed staff to proceed on the findings. Before we move on item number 17, I need a first motion to postpone item number 17. First motion by Mr. Rodriguez. I need a second.
A second.
Second by Mr. Reynaldo Garcia. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 23. This meeting is adjourned. It is now 8:54.
You have food downstairs?